This is a late season snowboarding trip since I have a season pass. While I was at the lift, I used 135-pound magnets to stick my panels onto the van. There was 80-mile-an-hour gusts, so more later on how these panels were able to hold up in the wind. How many solar panels is it gonna take to air condition my van in the bright, sunny 74-degree desert? After snowboarding, I spent the night at Hot Creek, and this is the view that I woke up to out my back windows. There was a sign that said 18 people died there, so I went to one of the many other hot springs in the area. This is video from a month before. On my first visit here, there was still snow.
We're good.
People were stuck, high-centered. The middle of the road was too high, and the ruts for the tires were too deep. So I ended up with the hot spring to myself. There's nobody there. Steaming. This area makes for a great opportunity to see if I can air condition the van when it's not too hot, or at least try to determine what it's gonna take. There's all kinds of rocks. A little pathway. You don't even need to break out your blocks. You could just stack these things and level your van with the rocks. If you don't have blocks or rocks, dig holes. I didn't think about that until recently. I just woke up. Nobody here. My battery is low. 56.9. Only person here this morning. So maybe I can get a dip to myself. Y'all didn't come here to see me soak in a hot spring, but this is where I happen to be, and it's such a cool place. If you didn't know, now you know. Most of these tubs have a valve that you can turn off and on. Be careful, this particular tub, if you leave it on, I've seen it get as high as 120 degrees. Despite the winds, and only using 4 magnets to hold the large 300-watt panel, the panel held. I thought it would take more magnets. There was a subtle sound of the wind blowing past the panel. As people came and went over the course of the day, I felt better about having the panel stuck to the van versus laying on the ground. I should warn anybody that uses these magnets how easily it is to get a rock or something stuck to it and you can end up scratching your van, so make sure you're careful. The reason my van has thin film solar panels on the top is I'm trying to be as stealth as possible. That's also why I did a skylight that opens instead of a vent fan. 634 watts, so it's going up, and it's noon. Boom! I'm maxing out. 662. After making that change, I tilted the panels to a 45-degree angle. After getting the thin film panels, I later learned you can't walk on them unless they're absolutely firmly supported from the bottom. If you do, you'll hear the panels cracking, and eventually they won't put out as much power. The way they're arranged, I'm still able to walk around on the roof if I need to get up there. Even get a couple chairs up there for a fireworks show or a NASCAR race. 550 watts of thin film on the roof isn't enough to air condition though, so I got these fold-up panels from Costco that I can place on or around the van in all sorts of different configurations. When I laid this panel out on the ground, I didn't realize that the kickstands on the back were the wrong direction. So in order for me to point it at the sun, I had to turn it the other way and then reopen it. And then I realized it was right the first time. And I had to turn it back and put it the other way. When you're propping up the panels, I found it easier to start with the middle panel and work your way out. If you have any questions about these panels, they're from Costco again, or what I'm doing here, please don't hesitate to ask. I am here to help. I like helping people. As I am now shooting videos of whether I can air condition the van in hotter weather, I can tell you that this was easy. Cooler weather and the abundant sun, I was able to run my system at 660 watts, which was the most my MPPT could manage. Good to know if you plug too many panels into a Renogy MPPT, it will still charge at its maximum wattage. It seems in 90-degree heat, the panels only want to put out 620 watts instead of 660. You'll see this in later videos. The sun's straight above. Renogy Bluetooth is showing maximum 660 watts. With weather in the mid-70s, I have all the hot water and air conditioning I could want. Originally, I thought I wanted a propane hot water heater, but electric hot water is amazing. I love heating my water with solar. The wind got the panel that was laying on the ground. I could have put it up against the van for more stability, or just left it flat. The hot springs up here in Benton are a great place for van life. I loved how I could just park. I didn't have to move like I do in Malibu. I have to move every day. A friend I met here told me that when the rain doesn't hit the ground, like you see here, that's called a virga. You could go somewhere by yourself for a few days or a few weeks and get work done. And you won't be lonely because there's constantly cool people coming all the time. Don't bring sand to the beach. I should say that most people that were there were with somebody. I don't think there's a lot of single people at the hot spring when I was there. To sum this up, I heat my hot water with electricity. I have an oven. I have a microwave. I cook with electricity. I have enough solar to do all this as long as it's not too hot out. Baking fresh cookies, by the way. In the next video about air conditioning my van, I'm going to try to do it in 90-degree weather. I'm also going to do 100 and 110-degree weather. As the nighttime temperatures get hotter, we'll see if we can run the air conditioner 24 hours a day. While shooting most of this video, my microphone was acting up, so here I am telling you to ring my bell, click the notifications. Let's find out what we got to do to air condition my van. My Movo microphone, I love the way it sounds, but you got to push the plug in all the way or else you get no sound at all. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.